Skip it up and that up. By the way, this is Paladins being played on the Nintendo Switch, and it blows my mind. Yeah, I know the resolution's all over the place, but I play this on the Xbox One X as well, and the game feels pretty much just as good on the Switch. And that to me is really damn impressive. Anyway, on to today's story. Speaking of Nintendo, and the Nintendo Switch to be precise, a lot of people, including me to a degree, were disappointed to find out that Nintendo officially stated that the Virtual Console is not coming to the Nintendo Switch. They were going to give us retro games in different ways. And I enjoyed the Virtual Console on the Wii U, especially the Wii. I purchased more games on the Wii than the Wii U when it came to the Virtual Console. So whatever. Point being is I can understand why people were disappointed. It was a neat, convenient way to play retro games on a Nintendo system. But yesterday, I saw the internet collectively freaking out, getting super excited and losing their minds because there was a very educated rumor that the Virtual Console was actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, and there was information to back it up. And I'm like, oh, damn, that sounds exciting. Oh, cool. So what is this concrete evidence that we're seeing that the Virtual Console is coming to the Nintendo Switch? Well, a Twitter user by the name of Kevdoy actually put out the JavaScript for the Nintendo Switch eShop. And if you look at it, which I'll show it right here, you will see that you see VC, which stands for Virtual Console. And then under that, you see different consoles like the SNES, the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, N64, Game Boy Advanced, and DS. Now, someone else in the comments pointed out that may just be a placeholder because they actually showed the same JavaScript for the 3DS, and it has a similar thing. If you look at it, you see Virtual Console, then you see, SNES, Game Boy Color, N64, GBA, DS, so on and so forth. And just to prove that this JavaScript is probably just a placeholder on both the 3DS and Nintendo Switch, the 3DS, even the new 3DS, definitely doesn't have the horsepower to emulate N64 games. Hell, you need a new Nintendo 3DS, the more powerful 3DS or new Nintendo 2DS, just to play Super Nintendo games on the 3DS, because the original 3DS just doesn't have the horsepower to do it. So there's no way in hell either the original 3DS or new, more powerful 3DS is going to be able to play an N64 game via the Virtual Console. I know they have like the remasters of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but that's different. That's not emulation. They're just building the game from the ground up to work on the 3DS. So yeah, I have a feeling that what we're looking at on both the Switch and the 3DS are just placeholders and nothing more. Look, here is what Nintendo wants from you and why I feel that we will never see the Virtual Console on the Nintendo Switch. They want you to sign up for the Nintendo Switch online service. They want you to continually pay year after year and continually give Nintendo money to be part of the Switch online subscription service, where you will be able to play NES games and Super NES games, and you'll get these new games monthly or whatever Nintendo is going to do with the Switch online service. And they want you to continue paying year after year, and they'll trickle out games to you to keep you coming back for more. That's what they want. They don't want you to just pick games per diem like you did back in the day in the Virtual Console, because I'm sure there were a lot of people who would just buy a couple NES games, especially back in the Wii days, because you had a whole bunch of casual gamers who bought the Wii, you had people my age who didn't really game anymore who bought a Wii anyway, who saw, oh wow, I remember that Super Mario's games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I played that when I was 5. I'll buy that again, play it for 30 seconds, and never buy another Virtual Console game again. They don't want to see that happen. What they want is for you to, man, if I want to play these retro games on the Switch, I'm going to have to pay the $20 a year for Nintendo Switch Online year after year, and they'll keep getting money from you year after year. So even Sony sees it and Microsoft sees it, man. The future of gaming is about services. And as much as Nintendo's online service for the Switch isn't great, they know the future is in services and subscriptions, and that's why they got rid of the Virtual Console and are letting you have retro games through the Nintendo Switch online service. Now, I could be wrong, and like a month from now, Nintendo will launch the Virtual Console. And hey, I'll be happy to eat my words. I wish they would have a Virtual Console. I like picking games where I could just buy them and play them whenever the hell I want to. But I don't see Nintendo doing that. I think they want to incentivize people to continue paying for Nintendo Switch Online by giving them these retro games. And that's why I don't think we'll ever see the Virtual Console come to Nintendo's newest system. I could be wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but that's the future that I see for Nintendo. This is Retro Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.